Good morning, everyone. This is Molly Ponce, CEO of the Solar Community Network and co-founder of the Solar Community Nebula. We are traveling the globe, if you will, interviewing 1,000 community champions this year. At least that's our goal. And this morning we have Mike Vacanti. Thank you so much for being with us, Mike.
It's a real pleasure to be here with you, Molly.
Well, we met each other not too long ago, maybe a few weeks now. And the moment that we were in this chat room, this hangout with the Humans First Club, which we're going to talk about, I just felt such a strong connection with the people in that chat room, with Kevin Monroe, with yourself, and with all those that came on board. And I'm really excited for you to share where this experience, where this concept of Humans First Club came from. So please introduce yourself and then share what you're doing in the world, the beautiful work that you're doing.
Thank you. Mike Vacanti. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I've been engaged in a long career that has been varied in many different businesses and experiences. I have helped people through mergers and acquisitions over the last 18 years. And I think that experience of being with people in that moment of chaos, where there's a lot of fear and doubt, and helping people move through and achieve great things has certainly brought me a lot of joy, but also informed, I think, how I got to this point in my journey.
And what work are you doing now in the world? What is the vision that you have for using your experiences, your gifts, and your talents? Where are you in this phase of your career?
3 years ago, when I had come back from Seattle after doing the 5th merger and acquisition, it was really a pause in my career and a reflection of where I would go next. I did a lot of work to worked with a coach and dissect what those experiences had been, what were the elements that were unique and which ones were very similar. Had a lot of feedback from people on what they experienced during that time, from bosses and employees and people that worked for me, people I worked for, partners, clients, friends even, and built that into an offering and started going out to companies and teaching that and built a high achieving team program. Through that process, there was just so much learning about what people were experiencing currently in their workplaces as I was working with companies. And that has built into further offerings, more discussions, and a better understanding of where we are on a macro sense in corporate or business evolution. And it really felt to me that we're at an inflection point where there's a need to expand human capacity, to be able to approach what we're facing with a lot of change going on in the world, in the market, and to be very thoughtful and conscientious about how we approach that. The Humans First Club sprung out of that experience or that journey and has really shifted the focus of a lot of that work and energy.
That's great. Well, we'll have you share a little bit more about that soon. What I would now like for you to share are any anecdotes or stories or experiences of how a conscious leader or leaders, mentors have shown you compassion, empathy, love, and helped you come up with this new experience in life, this new version of you that really is about creating a better world for all. Can you share any type of stories that come to mind or experiences that shifted you in a profound way?
Most of the influence for this for me, Molly, has come from the engagement with people that are in the experience rather than from a leadership position. I think maybe the absence of what we're talking about and what we're looking at now has been much more informative for me on helping to create it and develop it, co-create it with you and others that share that belief, that feel that need for a shift in our priorities and transformation. So I think the lesson has come from those in the experience rather than a leader or someone that I believe is leading the path. I feel the need. I don't know that we have good examples. And that creates an opportunity for us.
Wow, that's a great point. When you think of these community builders that are out there and you're now meeting on a daily basis as you travel, and these change agents in their communities and people who are really creating these positive ripple effects, are there any characteristics or observations that come to mind that's kind of an overarching theme or a way of being?
Yes, the one clear example is those that can operate without the focus on self is absolutely core. It's the absence of ego and be able to move forward with the thought and the concern of moving others along with them. And those are extraordinary skills. I think that we have examples of that. It would be helpful for all of us to understand what those are, and then what is driving us personally, and bring those into alignment. I think that's where the greatest impact can come.
Mm-hmm.
But when it is self first, that it will always be limiting, and that leads to decisions that may be beneficial for a few and harmful to many, rather than more of an abundance mindset where the good of the many will always be better for the whole.
Mm-hmm. So, Mike, how are you currently using your gifts, your talents, life lessons, good, bad, and ugly, to support your community now?
Yeah, I think part of what's really important to express is first the humility in all of this. For me, realizing and recognizing and spending time getting comfortable with my own flaws and understanding the areas of my being, my personality, my work or approach to things that is broken. And it's seeking the reconciliation or the healing in that, to act in a very intentional manner to do well going forward. So a lot of this, Molly, is creating the change in my own life and then being able to live and express that out. And the journey that's been beautiful is I've found so many others that have that belief and are doing that work. And that's when it occurred to me how wonderful of an experiment it would be to pull many of those people together and have 1,000 tiny voices that create the uproar of positive change, rather than follow the path that's laid before us of try to find an idealist and all move in that direction. It really is connecting all of those unique thoughts and approaches and directions that point the arrow forward with the same positive energy. And in doing that and having those conversations, the opportunity to just bring people together in gatherings, share those ideas and beliefs, and then be able to explore them together with a group of people. So we've been in 6 cities now where we've done that month over month. It's been 6 months. And it's led to wonderful discovery, revelations in some way, and certainly is driving the path forward. My intent has become much more focused. The value of this research has far exceeded, I think, anything that could be created in a laboratory or a simulated environment, because it's very real. It's people sharing incredible depth to their experience. And that becomes motivating to continue it and do more and bring all of those voices to the surface.
So this is not an interview question, but I'm just curious as you were speaking, how does one, I don't like to say deal with or work with this idea of evolving oneself and the community that has known you, maybe in the corporate sense or in your past, and I'm asking this in general for me as well, and you're doing this work of transformation from within, and you're working on all these flaws and these past grievances or traumas and pains, and you've stumbled along the way. And then you get to this place where you feel lighter and closer to that alignment. I mean, for me, it's still a journey. I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But I'm getting closer to that sense of alignment, that sense of flow. How do you deal with it when those around you uh, are having a hard time with this evolution? Right? And in many ways, maybe not really seeing your growth or allowing you to graduate from their image of how they knew you. So, how do you deal with that and still feel a sense of flow and still not feel this conflict or not having to over explain yourself? Because I struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah. Being willing and open to change in our own lives it's a difficult thing, and to step out of what might be our perceived place or our position within groups and communities, um, there's 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 a lot of questioning and doubt, along with curiosity of people. There's been many calls that people have said, I have to take you to lunch. What are you doing? And sometimes that's a question of interest. Sometimes it's a, you need to stop that kind of encouragement. What I do fundamentally believe is we all have the capacity to grow, and somewhere along the line we've changed the priority to seek pleasure and comfort, and rather than happiness and serenity. And when we look at pleasure rather than the true science of happiness, I think we tend to, personally, I think that brings me off of the path of growth. Um, and growth is learning and discovering and challenging my own beliefs and notions. It's being able to look at things through many different lenses and really understand, where am I at this point in my life, and where does it go, rather than measuring how many steps along the previously prescribed path I am.
Mm.
And when we divert from that path that we've been on, I think it creates discomfort for others as much as it creates discomfort for us.
Right.
But growth is essential, and that has to be the desire. And for me, I needed to look at it on, the physical and the mental and the spiritual sides in combination. It was all three together, and it's an assessment of current state. And the comfort over serenity, I think, is we seek that state that we best understand. That's seeking comfort, and sometimes that can pull us into a recoil to things we know rather than the serenity to explore the things we have yet to learn.
I love that. Thank you for that. That was very helpful. Um, so as life would have it, it's not always easy. You've been through your own challenges and pivots and, like I said, evolution of self and soul. When things are tough for you, what do you turn to? Is there a quote, a philosophy, a model that you live by that helps?
Yes, I need to get back to a center point, and learning to do that at this stage of my life, right, with the shiny head and the many experiences, is to slow down and find the curiosity to not be rigid in the beliefs that exist with me today, and rather put myself in a state of thoughtfulness, mindfulness, meditation is how I start my days now, so I can choose my intent. Um, it's being quiet enough to be able to come back to the core of how I operate each day and be thoughtful and intentional about that. It creates the resiliency to go experience whatever I will that day, and to be able to do that with an open and giving and loving heart. So I start the day with two simple words and intent, and that is lift others. I meditate on that. It's my intent for the day. And I close the day with just three simple words. Is it better? Did I do something that made a difference for someone? Was I in alignment with my intent more often during the day than not? And day to day, has that improved? And some days it's good and some days it's not good. But over time, there's more days that are in alignment with that than not. And so that consistency of practice leads to gratitude.
Mm.
And that really has put together for me, Molly, the quote that I like to use. And some say never quote yourself, because that's a very egotistical thing to do. So there are many quotes that I do love and live by. But the one that came to me that I try to live with and express and put into all my work and teachings is, it's much more than what we accomplish. It's who we become along the journey. And I keep that as a basis of encouragement for others, and a reminder that we are growing, we are becoming, and there's great opportunity to adjust our actions and our life and our beliefs as we move through that journey.
Mm. So then, Mike, how does a better world look like through your eyes?
Well, there's more love than fear. A better world, in my eyes, is as simple as creating more love in our interactions with each other, and the belief that we don't have to conquer to be conquerors. We don't have to create division and pain to own a position. We can actually operate with love to create a better position for everyone. And the conquering mentality that has existed all through time, right? We have documentation of that, and it is very fear-based, and it's an either or situation rather than an and. It's me and you. It's you and I and others. It's this community and that community. And I think that's really missing. I think we have a leadership crisis because we're trying to take a plot of consciousness, mind. We're trying to take a plot of land. We're trying to take a piece of pie out of the um, business environment rather than learning how to expand the pie and be able to share that. It can create an opportunity for everybody to flourish and grow. And I know that's highly idealistic, but I think that is a better world.
That's great. Thank you so much, Mike, for being a part of this global initiative, for allowing us to feature you and your insights as you've been through so many own iterations of self with your corporate world and also your personal life, your personal journey. So I appreciate your time very much. I look forward to continuing this relationship and supporting one another. Is there a way for our audience to get in touch with you, to learn more about you and the Humans First Club and all the great work that you're doing?
Yes, Humans First Club is humansfirst.club, and there is access to me through that. Also, mjvacanti.com. And I'm on social media with Humans First Club and MJ Vacanti, Mike Vacanti, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And the goal here is to engage and then to help each other engage with others of us that are of the like mind, so we can help and support all of those 1,000 tiny voices to create that ramp to a better future.
Fantastic. Again, thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Appreciate it, Molly.
You're welcome. For those watching, thank you so much for following us as we, again, travel to meet so many extraordinary souls doing great things in our community. And I say travel because we don't know where we're going to land with all your great nominations and who's coming to us and who we're coming to. So please, if you haven't already, nominate yourself and nominate others in your community who are creating fantastic ripple effects, making a difference in everybody's lives. Please nominate them and learn more about our Nebula Initiative and Resource Hub at nebula.soarcommunitynetwork.com. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will talk to you very, very soon. Take care for now.
Thank you.